Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Quick info before we begin. Today's video has two stories, both of them have updates, and in the second one there is mention of child abuse, so if that is a topic that bothers you, you might want to skip that story. Now let's get started. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Crying Todd Swift. Am I the a-hole for kicking my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her costume? Hi everyone, I'll cut to the chase. I, 19 female, had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I will call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a t-shirt that says Peter and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because, well, you know. I was pretty excited just because I thought it was a funny and cute costume. Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the couple's costume my boyfriend and I would be wearing, and she replied that she would probably just come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party, everyone is having fun and it's a nice time. Well, it was, until Agatha walked in dressed as a pumpkin. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I swear the room went silent. I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately and we went into my bedroom. I asked why she chose that costume since she knew the details of the joint costume being my boyfriend and me. She said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. I told her I didn't think it was funny and I would prefer that she changed. I offered her a witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and she have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and that I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted and the night felt ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. But a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and I should have let her stay. I guess I'm just wondering, am I the a-hole? Well, OP, based on what you're sharing on your post, I'm saying that you're not the a-hole. I'm going to assume that Agatha has one or two neurons to rub together in order to understand that her wearing the pumpkin outfit would not be okay, considering she called you and she understands why you would be wearing the pumpkin suit. Now, for just a moment, let's put a pin on why would she wear the same outfit and focus on the fact that when you called her out, she just started to scream at you. She wasn't even having a conversation. She just decided to make a mess of things. And just for that, it would have been enough for me for you to ask her to leave. She was being rude to you and to every other guest in that party. Now, the question is, why would she wear that pumpkin suit? She knew that you would be wearing a pumpkin suit and she knew why you would be wearing it. And her comment about it being a better group costume, I think that would go right if it was like a polyamorous relationship that you all three were in, but I'm guessing that's not what's going on. Maybe she's had feelings for your boyfriend all along and is just now starting to do some passive-aggressive things about it. I don't know. What do you guys think is going on here? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Amson09 says, not the a-hole. Oh girl, I'm surprised you didn't start a cat fight then and there. You have the right to lose your crap on that hussy. Yes, a hussy, and I'm saying it in the loosest sense. She clearly has the hots for your boyfriend and she'll escalate this crappy behavior if you don't call her BS out. I roll. I'm glad your boyfriend sees through her BS and agreed with you. Your friends who think you're being dramatic, ask them what they would feel if they were in your shoes. I'm sure most of them would remain silent or say, but it's different, she won't do that to me, or any other crappy excuse they could come up with just so you'll remain the villain in this situation. You need better friends if these people think it's okay to steal someone's idea. And OP responds, thank you, I just couldn't believe she thought it would be a fun group costume. Status Pattern 7539 says, not the a-hole. She deliberately wore that outfit knowing what you and your boyfriend were wearing. She was looking to start some crap. You now know you can't trust her. I personally wouldn't invite her to any more events. However, if that is not an option for you, then you can refuse to share any future costumes or themes or outfits, etc. Especially if you guys get engaged or married. For anyone who questions you, be calm. Tell them she told you she was coming as a cat and then changed her mind once she found out about the couple's costume, and her choice was a deliberate action to get people to question your relationship and hers with your partner. That you told her it wasn't appropriate and gave her the option to change into a provided costume before telling her to leave when she refused. That goalie's mom says, not the a-hole. I think this was a premeditated, orchestrated scene by Agatha, and I think you handled it well, OP. She may be your boyfriend's friend, but somewhere along the line she's developed feelings, and in her youthful immaturity, she doesn't know how to handle it. This is not good, OP. I'm kind of bothered that your boyfriend didn't immediately call her out. Like, if one of his guy friends showed up in that costume, he'd be like, bro, what the F? If Agatha is truly just a friend, he should have reacted the same way or stronger. Be on high alert for additional advances and attacks from Agatha. Good luck. Realistic Bar 7276 says, not the a-hole. She knew what she was doing. She walked in with the intent to cause drama, try to assert dominance over you, and try to stake her claim. You're not dramatic for reacting to her causing drama. You even were nice enough to offer another costume. Why should you be nice when she's trying to undermine you and get with your boyfriend? I think you also need to talk with your boyfriend though. I'm glad he recognized she crossed the line. It's a good idea for him to distance himself from her because she's trying to disrespect you and your boyfriend. Additional information from OP's comments. I never thought there was anything to worry about with her. My boyfriend and I have been dating for over a year and she has been so friendly. I couldn't even believe it when she walked in. I had many friends text me just saying that it was a joke and that I could lighten up since we were around friends. I think I really just let my anger get the best of me. I should have included my boyfriend in the conversation. I hadn't really thought about it because I was so upset. But I should definitely include him in the future in these conversations and decisions. If she had shown up as anything else, it would have been fine. She knew the sexual meaning behind the costume. She definitely understood the joke because she even said something like, "Oh, you'll have fun after the party with that costume, winky face," while we were texting. So I guess she also knew that it could be insinuated that she was having sex with him too. If she accidentally showed up as a pumpkin, I would totally understand and I wouldn't have cared. It just seemed calculated. Also, I just couldn't believe she thought it would be a fun group costume. I tried to offer a solution by asking her to change her costume, but it didn't help. I asked my boyfriend and he said that nothing ever happened between them. I'm really starting to think back at past interactions to see if I've missed any signs. She has never shown jealousy or pettiness towards me before. This was the first time ever. My boyfriend was shocked when she walked in dressed like that. We talked about it and we agreed that it would be equally as disrespectful as my guy friend showing up in a shirt that says Peter Peter, and he thought asking her to leave was the correct response. He was in full agreement that she crossed the line and that it was best she left. He was basically comforting me all night and telling me I made the right decision. He also has no idea what got into her. He hasn't talked to her since and we are discussing the best route to take. He wants to completely cut her off because of this. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm letting him make the decision completely on his own. I'm not pushing him in one direction or the other. It really seems like he is done with the friendship and with whoever said I was wrong. I'm very grateful to have such a supportive boyfriend. Some people are calling him out for not standing up, but I think he was just in shock and didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Anyway, I just found out that she's been texting him since the party asking why I freaked out, but never texting me. He hasn't been responding, which I think is driving her crazy. He has completely ignored her since the night happened. She hasn't even tried to apologize. His words. Alright, well the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and they all brought up some pretty decent points. And OP gave us a lot more context about what his boyfriend is thinking and how they're handling this as a couple. So now it's time that we move on with the update that is 4 months after the original post to see how this story ends. But of course before that, here's another one of my playlists that I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy after this video. Now let's move on with the update. Well, I have an update. I meant to post one a few months ago, but I really needed time to process the events that occurred after this whole ordeal. It's been 4 months and I'm glad I waited though, because you all need to hear this one. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Agatha since she went absolutely bonkers for seemingly no reason. I thought since he immediately took my side and blocked her on everything that you were wrong. Well, it was me who was wrong. It turns out that Agatha and my boyfriend have been sleeping together for months and they were just really good at hiding it. Until she decided she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. I found this out when I was at his house and hanging out in his room. He was showering after a workout and I heard this vibrating noise. He had taken his phone and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what it was. I opened his bedside table drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me that something wasn't right. Why would he have a second phone? It didn't take me long to guess his password. 1234. Really? And my fears were confirmed. To note, yes, my ex is an idiot. His phone password for his actual phone was 0000 because other combinations were always too hard to remember. 1234 was not my first guess, but it worked. If it hadn't, I would have just confronted him about it regardless. Anyway, there was a missed call from Agatha. I looked through the messages and found out the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, she recently found out that she was pregnant. This was the reason she pulled that stunt on Halloween. She was trying to force his hand. I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well. I was completely devastated. After his shower, he found me grabbing all of my belongings and putting them in my bag. He asked why I was leaving and I told him because we were finished. I threw his phone on the bed and he looked like he was going to vomit. He started pleading with me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear it. He could have all those other girls. I didn't want him anymore. He followed me out of the house shaking and crying. He even followed me all the way out to my car trying to block my path. I went over the grass around him and didn't look back. He sent me a long message about how he never wanted to hurt me, right? That he wanted me back and how he was using his work phone to tell all of these women so I wouldn't find out. That was really helpful. I sent his boss a nice little message about how company property was being misused and I saw on LinkedIn he no longer works for that company anymore. I honestly have no idea why he even decided to tell me that. He said he only did it because of his access to the second phone, so I just thought his boss would love to know how company property was being used. I have to assume the company wasn't thrilled he was sending penis pictures or videos to women on his phone that was probably supposed to be used for work purposes. Who knows? He might have gotten fired because he's an a-hole, but I will never know. Anyway, he is blocked on everything now. I hope he and Agatha have a magical life with their baby. Oh, I heard through the grapevine that he got one of the other women pregnant too. I am glad I dodged that bullet. I haven't seen him since. I don't know what happened between him, Agatha, and the other baby mama. The only reason I know about the other pregnant woman is that I heard it from someone else. Also, I got an STD check after I found out about the cheating, but I will definitely schedule another one for this week. As for me, I am currently in therapy working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again after this situation. He was a piece of work. I ignored many red flags because I was so happy to finally feel loved by someone. Well, that wasn't real love. I'm glad I found this out before I truly invested more time into the relationship. I'm looking forward to the future and finding someone special in my life. My therapist has really helped me and I'm looking forward to the future now. Heart. I have been putting myself out there again and have cut contact with anyone who knew what was happening behind my back. Thank you all for the love and support. Oh wow, I guess she was wearing that pumpkin suit for a reason. She was telling you that they were having sex. Yikes. Anyways, OP, it sounds like you've made all the right decisions. You left that relationship with that cheater, so good for you. And you're working on yourself. You got the help of a therapist and you're working on your self-love. That is fantastic. So here's wishing you all the best in the future, OP. Take care and thank you for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user Natty Nix. My mother is an a-hole and I have been collecting dirt on her for years. So, my dear old mother has been my personal hell for as long as I remember, starting from threatening to hit me with a bottle to try to break down my door while screaming obscenities at me, to actually hitting me over the head with an umbrella and yelling at me when I cried. I was 11, by the way. She blamed me for my sister's divorce. I was 6 at the time it happened. For years. She left for 3 months without a warning, then acted entitled to my forgiveness when she came back. She's thrown things at me, broken 3 TVs, and called me a myriad of names ranging from mild things like useless waste of space to an actual curse or punishment. The worst thing is she acts like she's the best mom in existence around other people, complimenting me and stuff, and I can't have a support system because no one would believe me when I say she's awful. But I had an ace up my sleeve I kept for 2 years now. I secretly took videos and audio of every horrible moment and kept them in a safe folder. I had moments like the ones mentioned above and lots more of her talking crap about neighbors, friends, her own eldest child behind their backs. Tonight, I'm packing for uni. By morning, the whole folder will reach multiple people, including my half-siblings, aunts, uncles, neighbors, her besties, etc. Bad luck and worst day, mother. You always said justice is better served cold. OP, what your mom put you through is horrible. I am so sorry that you had to live with that for 19 years. And like many others in the comment section, I was thinking that OP should report this to the authorities and take her evidence as proof that her mom was abusing her, and she said that where she lives, the authorities don't really care about these cases, which of course I think it's awful and can only condemn it, but the good thing is that OP is getting out of there. And to that point, I'm sure you want to know what happened if OP released the folder or not. So let's move on to the update to see just that. First of all, thanks for all the support. I followed the advice you gave me and packed all my documents. I also contacted my uni to let them know that they shouldn't take any action based on what my mother says and that they should always look for confirmation directly from me. I also asked if there's any counseling service, and there is, so thanks for the nugget of advice. For all the people concerned about me being dependent on her financially, don't be. I have a lot of money that I collected over the years from odd jobs and competitions. My friend has also assured me that they're going to find me a job. Now, moving on to the update. I went through with it. I hit the send button the moment I was out of the immediate area, and I have been getting bombarded by emails and texts and phone calls since. After a while, I blocked most people. Apparently, from what our neighbor's kid is telling me, my mother is losing it. Thank goodness that she doesn't know where exactly my friend lives, or I guarantee that she would be here. From what I heard, she's been bombarded with calls from family and friends. Our neighbors are pissed. For now, they're wet blankets that I have no doubt will bend in a few weeks. The kid says he heard yelling and things crashing. They went to check it out and apparently she broke the glass living room table. Understandable. I don't care since I'm not there and I don't have younger siblings who will be affected. I'm glad I did this because it's relieving to finally let it all out. I have lived under this roof for 19 years and it is almost surreal to let people know what was going on under there. I didn't expect them to believe it because after all, they only saw the good mom act. You don't go from that to believing she's awful easily, no matter what you hear. But I needed to do it, for me if nothing else. It was surprising to find out that some people believed me. I went into this mostly for catharsis and chaos, but some relatives and one of my brothers actually support me. My brother even said I can crash at his place whenever I need it, and honestly, I'm grateful. As for the people who told me I'm just like my mother, I will repeat what I said before. I hope you stub your toe and then right before it stops hurting, you stub it again for the rest of forever. I hope every restaurant you go to serves cold food that tastes like dirt. Have a nice day. As for releasing the videos or audio online, I ask you to understand that it's a highly personal matter and you know only glimpses of what I said. And I have decided that I will not be posting the content. It's something that I want to keep out of my life forever and try to move on. People on the internet don't need to view it, and I don't owe proof to anyone. Life is too short to spend thinking about it. I have had my catharsis, and it's enough. Edit to add, today she decided to waste her money on a new SIM card to try and get in touch with me, read, yell at me, and threaten me. It's a bit funny. I answered it, and the moment I heard her voice, I took one of my friend's cats and sat him by the phone and waited. He was confused as to where the voice was coming from and tries to eat my phone and then meowed at it. I think with that, she noticed I wasn't gonna say anything and she hung up. I have now blocked the number. Good for you, OP. You did what you felt you needed to do to get that off your chest and be able to move forward. And you're also gonna look for help, so all of that is fantastic news. And I have to say, I think I would have wanted to see your mom's face when she realized she was talking to your friend's cat. Here's wishing you all the best, OP, and take care. Thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.